Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can create this quick animated graphic effect on signs in After Effects. Let's go. My name is Devin Huynh. Welcome to 11% Tutorials. As I mentioned, today we're going over this animated sign graphic effect that you can use in After Effects, whatever the case may be. It's really simple and easy to create. Today in this tutorial, there'll be a production side of it and a post-production side of it. So yes, you will have to go out with your camera and shoot some actual footage. Today, all you'll be needing is After Effects. Is a really simple, easy effect you can create. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention, if you're interested in saving yourself some time and speeding up your editing workflow, definitely make sure to check out 11%.net. There we have a bunch of crazy video editing preset packs. Personally, I think we have a bunch of crazy presets and overlays that would work perfectly with the sign animation effect. So definitely make sure to check out the link in the description at 11%.net. It seriously saves me so much time while editing. We have transitions, title cards, overlays, just pretty much anything you could think of. So definitely make sure to check it out if you're interested, 11%.net. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. So for the first part of this tutorial, we're gonna have to go outside. I know, it sucks. Yeah, I brought my Sony a7 III with me and has a 70mm lens, and I'm just gonna be zooming in and out on some signs. Second step is to find a sign. Yes, this is me finding a sign in my neighborhood. And then this is also me realizing that I parked on the wrong side of the street and might have just received a ticket. Then once you find your sign, you're just gonna go ahead and film a couple clips of your sign. I'm actually filming vertical because I thought it would be a cool effect to like watch on your phone or a TikTok, but then it kind of just screwed me over because I have to edit it vertically later, so whatever. Anyways, I'm filming vertical and I'm shooting in 4K, and then I'm also doing a 1080 version, which I'm shooting 60 frames per second, so that way I can just slow it down, smooth it out, warp stabilize later. And once you've shot all your clips, you're now ready to go hop inside of After Effects. Let's go. All right guys, so now that we're inside of After Effects, I have this clip right here that I recorded of the speed limit sign. Sorry that it's sideways. I meant to shoot this as like a vertical thing, but I found out later on that you actually can't camera track vertically, so whatever, we'll just flip it later in the edit. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here to our tracker and we are going to track camera. Now you're just gonna go ahead and make sure that your composition is the complete original composition settings of your video clip, or else the camera tracking won't work. So let's go ahead and wait for this to load. And boom, once the camera tracking is done, you'll see you have a bunch of tiny, nice little camera 3D tracking flowers. You can go ahead and increase the size of them to see them. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and select 3 points that correctly resemble the actual sign area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and hold shift and select all 4 corner points of this sign so that we have a nice accurate sign like tracking area. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click it and I'm going to hit create solid and camera, and boom, there you go. Now you can see we have a nice solid and camera. What you might have to do is go ahead and just quickly readjust the solid. I don't know why my solid came out looking kind of weird like this. And once we've gone ahead and just pretty much readjusted the size and scaling of our object, now you can see our 3D, our new object is like selected and maxed and tracked onto our sign. Now it's time to go ahead and pre-comp the solid. So I'm just gonna go ahead and right click the solid. I'm gonna click on pre-compose and I'm just gonna call this number effect. Number effect. And so for this effect, what I'm basically going to be doing is creating like a counting animation effect just for the numbers on the sign. So now that I have this pre-comp, I'm just going to go ahead and double click this, and you can see we are now inside of this little square area. It actually might be a good idea to keep the square in the original square format and size, just so that none of our graphics inside get distorted. But what I can do is I can just drag the square directly over the number effect, which is all we're going to be needing to change in this effect. And then we're going to go ahead and add our effect. But before we do that, we're actually going to have to go ahead and create a nice little background, filler background for this number so that we can get rid of the original number. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to come over here to the original clip right here. I'm going to go to about the exact same frame as it is in the clip, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab a very quick rough screenshot. So I'm hitting Command Shift 4 and I'm selecting all of this and screenshotting it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Photoshop. I'm going to open up a blank project, drag this in right here. Let's just scale it up just so we can see it a little bit better. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just basically going to go ahead and remove the 25 right here. So I'm going to go ahead and select the 3 dots icon and grab my spot healing tool brush, and I'm just going to rasterize my layer, and then I'm just going to go ahead and color over the entire 2 and 5. And you're going to see it might like come up with some weird little like shapes, but just keep selecting those until all of those disappear. And now let's go ahead and do it for the 5. And boom, there you go. Now we have a nice, like, completely disappeared sign effect. And now it's time to go ahead and grab our selection tool. And now it's time to just go ahead, select the blank space area. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just going to hit this selection area, and boom, there we go. Now we have a nice little blank sign template. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back sideways, and I'm just gonna scale it up a tad bit. And now lastly, I'm just going to hit done. I'm going to grab my eraser tool and make sure that I feather the hardness to 0% and make the size around like 100. And I'm just going to simply erase the edges a tad bit, so that way we have a nice little blended area layer, so that when we drag this onto our video, you don't see any hard edges of the sign. And now once we have a nice little blank area, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit file. I'm gonna call it export this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and call this sign blank 3, and boom, there we go. Now let's go back to After Effects. I'm gonna go back here to this object pre-comp. I'm going to delete the solid, and I'm just gonna turn on our transparency mode right here so we can see what we're doing. And now I'm gonna go to my Finder. I'm going to search for that blank sign image that we created, and boom, here it is. I'm gonna drag this into our project, and boom, there we go. Now we have that nice little blank sign object. I'm gonna come back here to my original comp, turn on the visibility, and let's just go ahead and align this so that it perfectly matches the pre-comp that we have right here. And boom, there you go. Now that we have the replace sign effect, I'm just gonna go ahead, and you can see it kind of looks a little bit jarring just because the lighting is a bit off, but that's really easy. We can really just go ahead and fix that by adding a lumetri color effect right here. And really it's just all about blending. I'm serious when I say this, guys. Anything visual effects related is really just all about lighting. I'm serious. That is really the trick to it all. So as you can see, I just created a lumetri color effect, and I just basically turned down the exposure a tad bit, and there we go. Now you have a nicer, better tracked effect. And you can see, because the lighting kind of changes a bit, we can actually just go ahead and create a keyframe for the exposure and then just readjust it throughout the video. So I might want it a little bit brighter in this scene right here so it matches a little bit better, and boom, there you go. It doesn't have to be super perfect, just because we are going to be creating this flashing number effect on it, which is going to take away from the light disparities. But there we go. Now we have a nice blank sign. Now it's time to go ahead and add on the counting number. So right here, this is where the actual cool effects are, the animation is. I'm going to grab my text tool, and I'm going to go ahead and type 99, because that'll be the top max number it goes to on the speed limit. 99 mile per hour speed limit. That's pretty crazy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my effects and presets, and I'm going to search for a slider. I'm going to grab the slider control and drag it to my 99 number, and then I'm going to hit the drop down on my 99 number, hit the drop down on text, and I'm going to pick whip the source text to my slider control. Boom, there you go. Now you can see it just automatically set to 0, but don't worry, it's not over yet. What I'm going to do, hold Option or Alt if you're on PC, and click the source text little keyframe icon, and boom, there you go. Now you see we have these nice little cool text properties. Now it's time to do some fun adding, math, rounding stuff. Let's go. I actually kind of made a little mistake earlier, but now what we're going to do is just, once again, we're going to grab the pick whip tool and select it and drag it to the slider control once again. And now you can see, boom, there we go. We have the effect, slider, control, slider, whatever, yada, yada, yada. So all the code is now selected and pasted in there. If that didn't happen for you, make sure that you highlight the text, whatever is in here, before you drag the pick whip to the slider. Very important. Now follow me. We're gonna hit capital M and type math, and then we're gonna hit dot round, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit parentheses, and then on the very end of this I'm gonna hit parentheses one more time. I don't know why there's another parentheses right here in the front, but boom, there you go. Let's just go ahead and delete that, and you should see your code, your expression code, look exactly like this. Math dot round with the capital M on math. That's very important. And then parentheses around everything else that is typed here. The parentheses should be green. That indicates that the code and expression is working. And now you can see, boom, our slider is set to 0. But don't worry, we're gonna go ahead and fix that right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set a keyframe at 0 at the very beginning, and then let's go about 2 seconds in, and let's go ahead and set this to 99. And now you can see if we play this out, boom, we have this nice counting 99 number effect. I think that looks pretty cool if you ask me. And as you can see, we can just adjust the sliders, the keyframes on the slider, and that will just make the number go faster faster. Just a lot of cool stuff that you can mess around with. Lastly, let's just go ahead and transform this sideways so that it fits our sign in the like respective area. And let's just drag it over this blank area that will be in the video. And then what I'm going to do, just to make it fit in a little bit more, I'm going to turn down the opacity to like 80%. And if you want, you could change the blending mode to multiply, perhaps, if that helps you feel a little bit more comfortable. So you can see some like some dents through the text. And then let's go back to our main comp, and boom, there you go. Oops, as you can see, I accidentally flipped around the solid in the process, but that's actually a really easy fix. We can actually just go ahead and reverse the image right here on the pre-comp, and then if I come back here, the number is nice and aligned. So I'm just going to go ahead and readjust this so that it fits, and boom, voila, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You have a nice speed limit counting number effect. I think that looks pretty cool if you ask me. And like I said, you can apply this to any sign effects you want. You can add like animated, if you have like animated moving characters or icons, you can do the same thing with that. If you want to change the text, or maybe have like the speed limit text change throughout different fonts, you can do that. There's really so much stuff you can do, and as you can tell, it all just comes down to lighting and making sure you blend everything really nice and better. I'm just going to go ahead and tweak the background layer right here of this sign blank so that it blends in a little bit better, so you can not tell that it's just masked over. But it's really all about lighting. Mess around with it, have fun with it, make this effect your own. Lastly, to just wrap this effect up entirely, I'm going to go ahead and hit Command-Shift-D, trim our text layer, and then I'm just going to select all these, right click and pre-compose them, and then I'm going to go to my effects and presets and search for a warp stabilizer, just to nicely go ahead and make everything nice and smooth. And boom, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a nice warp stabilized speed ramp animated sign effect. Here is the final result. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you again so much for watching. If you managed to find any help or value from this video, please be sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe. It's free. All this content is free, so really it'd mean the world to me. And once again, if you're interested in speeding up your editing workflow, saving yourself some time while editing, definitely make sure to check out 11%.net. There we have a bunch of crazy preset packs that just personally help me save a bunch of time. We have title card overlays, CRT glitch overlays, paint visual effects overlays. We have camera shake transitions, a bunch of crazy stuff that is just really built to save you time as an editor while still allowing you to make some dope visual effects. Additionally, unlike most other preset pack stores out there, we also offer our subscribers the option to become preset pack sellers themselves on our store, so that you can start earning some passive income as a video editor. I really preach that every video editor should have their own form and source of passive income, because you can't always just constantly rely on clients and video work, especially if stuff happens again, like the pandemic. It's always important to have an extra source of income. And personally, for me, selling preset packs has been that source. So I decided to open up my store, 11%.net, to allow other video editors to create preset packs of their own, list them on our site, and then sell them and make 89% of the profits. We only take 11% of your profits, hence the name. It's really easy to do. We actually have full courses and tutorials on how to make presets, mogurts, everything like that. We have an active Discord channel where we answer all of your questions. So if that's something that you might be interested in, definitely make sure to check out the seller application form link down below in the description. We're always open to having more preset pack sellers and creatives on our site, sharing their knowledge, sharing their resources, and also providing other editors with the opportunity to make passive income. Once again, I just want to say thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.